What's up, everyone? Marc Allison here for this week's, uh, well, for my weekly recap of the WWE shows that I've watched. And what can I say? It was a week of surprises and returns and everything. We'll get into that a little bit more later. We're going to start off here with, of course, with main event, which saw No Way Jose taking on Razar with Drake Maverick in a rematch from last week. Last week, Razar defeated No Way Jose. No different this week. A little bit better showing by No Way Jose, but in the end, the results were the same as Razar. As Razar got the pinfall victory over No Way Jose with the chokeslam. And then the next match on main event saw Apollo Crews taking on EC3. I hate to see EC3 already delegated to main event and everything. It's like I'm hoping they figure out something for him and everything. I hate the fact they're not letting him talk. All in all, though, pretty good match here between him and Apollo. Both of them they're in phenomenal shape and everything. It's sad that they don't use either one of them. In this match, though, however, Apollo Crews does catch EC3 with the standing moonsault for the 1-2-3 victory. So if you're keeping up as far as television matches, EC3 is now 1-2. He beat Dean Ambrose, then he lost to Dean Ambrose, and now he's lost to Apollo Crews. So who knows where we're going to go from here. Now we're going to move on into... So I'm going to fly through this a little bit because I think I've been making these a little too long, but and just talk about certain points. We're going to move on now to Monday Night Raw. And as I said, we had some big returns. Congratulations goes out to Roman Reigns, who is now officially back in the WWE and is cancer-free. So congratulations to him. I'm glad to see the big dog back on Raw, back where he belongs. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with him at WrestleMania now. It's like if he even has a match at WrestleMania, I don't know. It hasn't. I haven't heard no one say if he is going to have a match or if they're going to wait to after Mania or what. But congratulations, Roman Reigns. Glad to see you back on Monday Night Raw and glad you whipped cancer's butt. And then also the other big news from Raw, it was Ric Flair's 70th birthday. So happy birthday to the man, Ric Flair. I love this shirt. So Flair, he will always definitely be the man. Probably one of the best workers in the world. But let's get on to the matches. First match out of the gates was Ricochet and Aleister Black taking on the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. Things ain't looking good for the Revival. They won the tag team titles, but they've done last week they lost to DIY, and this week they lose to Ricochet and Aleister Black. The NXT guys are looking great, but your tag team champions are not looking great. All in all, it was an okay match. It seemed like it was a little rushed and everything. It seemed like they didn't have a lot of time to really do a whole lot. But no, it's okay. Up next, we had Ronda Rousey teaming with Natalya to take on Sarah Logan and Ruby Riott of the Riott Squad. It was a fair match. One we've seen before. Nothing really too special about it. I thought the singles match last week between Ronda and Ruby was a little bit better than this one. But in the end, I got it marked down here that Ronda and Natalya did pick up the win after Becky Lynch just came from the crowd, and Natalya tried to step in her way. She attacked her. The ref called for the bell, so Ronda and Natalya do win by DQ, of course. But the big story here is there's a big brawl between Ronda and Natalya, trying to get broken up. Police come in. They escort Becky Lynch out. They arrest Becky Lynch. Ronda gets in the ring. She calls out Vince McMahon. However, Stephanie McMahon comes out. Ronda pretty much gives Stephanie an ultimatum. She wants Becky back in the match at WrestleMania. Stephanie says no, and Ronda, she just pretty much lays down the women's title. What this means, who knows where they're going to go with this. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this. But she pretty much just lays down the women's title and walks out, leaving Stephanie just looking like she don't know what's going on. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on leading up to WrestleMania now. Up next, we had Jinder Mahal taking on Kurt Angle. Pretty decent match here. Wasn't nothing really special here. Kurt Angle looked really good. He got in a pretty quick match. Kurt Angle does pick up the win with the ankle lock on Jinder Mahal. Afterwards, both the Singh brothers go for a ride with some very nice looking German suplexes from Angle. Good to see Kurt Angle get a win here tonight on Raw. Out next, we had the Moment of Bliss segment with Alexa Bliss interviewing Finn Balor. He gets interrupted by Lio Rush, who says that Bobby Lashley ought to have a shot at the Intercontinental title. Pretty much, Finn Balor twists Lio Rush's words around and challenges him to take the shot for the Intercontinental title instead of Bobby Lashley. So Lio Rush reluctantly agrees. We got an Intercontinental title match, Finn Balor against Lio Rush. This was actually a really good match. This was probably the best match on Raw, I think. Both of them look really good in it. In the end, Balor does win by retaining the Intercontinental title. So it's like where they're going to go with Balor. It's like is he going to fight Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania? Who knows? But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. Out next, we had Dean Ambrose taking on Drew McIntyre in a rematch from last week. This week, though, it was a no DQ match. This was a lot better than last week. Last week's was really short, pretty much 2 moves and Dean's done. This one they did do more. They beat the crap out of each other with a belt that Ambrose had on. But in the end, the results were the same, thanks to help from Elias. Dean Ambrose goes down. Drew McIntyre stands tall with the win. Then Baron Corbin. Who else came out? Let's see. Baron Corbin, Elias, and Drew McIntyre. And I think Bobby came out. I think Bobby Lashley came out. I can't remember if he did or not. I think he did. But either way, they all come in. They attack Dean Ambrose. And then we have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns come in, make the save. And you think we're going to get another Shield reunion, but no. Reigns and Rollins, they just leave the ring. They turn back to look at Ambrose in the ring, and then they just walk off. So I don't know what's going down with Ambrose. I really don't. But I guarantee you we're probably going to be getting another Shield reunion, which would be awesome to see. If Ambrose is really leaving, it will be cool to see another Shield reunion before he does leave and everything. To see those 3 men. It's like what I've been predicting is it's going to be the Shield pretty much taking down Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania and everything, with Rollins winning the Universal title. But who knows? I could be wrong. And I just realized that the TV's scrolling back there behind me and everything. Hold on a minute. Let me move that controller there. Let me turn that off real quick. Hold on a minute. Hold on 1 second. We'll get back to the review, to the thing here in a minute. I'm just going to turn the TV off there. The main event for Raw was Bayley with Sasha Banks taking on Nia Jax with Tamina. We've seen these two work each other plenty of times. It was another good match between them. Nia Jax and Bayley both have good chemistry inside the ring. It was a good main event. Like I said, probably my favorite match from Raw was probably Balor and Lio Rush. But this was a good match. Bayley does get the win over Nia Jax in the end. So we do know during this match they announced it will be Bayley and Sasha defending the women's tag team titles against Nia and Tamina at Fastlane. Thank God it's at Fastlane and not WrestleMania. Give them a different opponent for WrestleMania, please. Then we closed Raw with the Ric Flair birthday celebration, and I know I'm a little late on this, so everybody probably already knows what happened. And maybe you watch Raw. Pretty much we got the return of Batista. Batista is back in the WWE. And I think he's got a pretty good contract, too. I think he's going to be around for a little while. But he's back in the WWE. He pretty much lays out Ric Flair in the locker room and tells Triple H and pretty much calls Triple H out. So it looks like we're going to be seeing Batista versus Triple H at WrestleMania, which I'm actually looking forward to. I think that'll be a really good match. But good to see Batista's back in the WWE. From there, we're going to go over to SmackDown Live. The show started off, of course, with the contract signing. Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. Mr. McMahon comes back, says, "Kofi, you've done great in the WWE, but I'm sorry. I'm replacing you in the main event of Fastlane with a returning Kevin Owens." Yeah, I know. It's like I don't understand it either. I've watched a bunch of different people talk about it and stuff. It's pretty much the same thing they're doing with Charlotte and Becky and Ronda. It's like they're just rehashing the same thing here. So I don't know. I think the writing team and stuff. I think they're just losing the ear. That or Triple H or Vince McMahon's just got Alzheimer's and can't remember. He's already done this once. But anyway, it was good to see Kevin Owens back, and we know the match between Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan is going to be good. But it's like I have a feeling they're probably going to wait till WrestleMania to put Kofi in there and probably let him win the title at WrestleMania. But after all that, the first match out was The Bar taking on the returning Hardy Boys. Matt Hardy is back in the WWE. I thought he was retiring. It's like it was cool to see him back. It's like I don't want to see Matt and Jeff retire right now. This was a good match here between The Bar and the Hardy Boys. In the end, the Hardy Boys do pick up the win. And where they go from here, who knows? It's like this is second. Once again, like the Revival, The Bar's done lost 2 weeks in a row. Lost last week to DIY. This week they lose to the Hardy Boys. So where do you go with The Bar for right now? Out next, we have the United States Champion R-Truth making his return to SmackDown Live. And he says he's going to end, what was the words he's with? It's like, in the words of his idol, John Cena, he's bringing back the United States title open challenge. Andrade comes out first. He's going to accept the challenge, but Rey Mysterio just runs in, hits him, knocks him down, jumps in the ring, says he wants the challenge. Pretty much R-Truth is like, well, what am I going to do here? It's like Carmelo says, well, John Cena would fight them both. And reluctantly, R-Truth finally agrees. It's like, all right, then I'll do it. In honor of John Cena, I will fight them both and defend the United States title. And surprisingly, this was a really good match, by the way. If you haven't seen this match, Andrade and Rey Mysterio and stuff, they need to give those two a match at WrestleMania. I don't know if they can put a stipulation in, but I just say just give them a match. Give them about 15, 20 minutes and just let them go out there and just kill it at WrestleMania. I would love to see that. But here tonight, R-Truth does pick up the win. After Rey hits Andrade with the 619, he rolls up Rey Mysterio, 1, 2, 3. He's still the United States Champion, so that is awesome to see. Out next, we had Aleister Black and Ricochet taking on Nakamura and Rusev with Lana. Once again, NXT guys, they get the win. Aleister Black, Ricochet, they're right now undefeated on the main roster and everything. I hate the fact that they're pretty much burying everybody else to do it, but like I said, they're good talents and everything. But once again, Nakamura and Rusev, what are you going to do with those two guys? But either way, it was a good match. This really was. I think this match with Black and Ricochet against Nakamura and Rusev, it was better than the Revival match. It's like I think it flowed better and everything. They had more of a feel for each other. The main event for SmackDown earlier in the night, Kevin Owens told Stephanie and Shane that he wants to tag with the man that ought to be in the main event at Fastlane. So Kevin Owens is playing babyface. Kind of weird. He wants to tag with Kofi Kingston against Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Pretty solid main event here. Nothing really special here happened. Kofi, he looked good again. Kevin Owens looked good in his return. But probably the only gripe I had, the winner of the match was Kevin Owens pinning Daniel Bryan in the middle of the ring and everything. And that's probably my biggest gripe. It's like, since the World Heavyweight Champion is not protected at all. It's like Daniel Bryan's done lost 2 matches since Elimination Chamber. And I don't like that. But like I said, we'll have to see where it goes. But I don't know, it was just a so-so main event. Probably the best match on that was probably that United States title match. Mainly because Andrade and Ray just doing some amazing stuff in it. Next up, we have 205 Live. They started a tournament to crown the... they started a tournament to see who is going to face Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania. This was some round 1 matches. In the first match of round 1, we had Tony Nese taking on Kalisto. Pretty decent match here. Glad to see Tony Nese did pick up the win here. I'm not feeling Kalisto right now. Second match was probably my favorite match. It seemed like we got I could hear a few boring chats in the audience, and I hate that because Drew Gulak and Brian Kendrick went out there and they put on a classic old school wrestling match, and it was fun, great to see. I loved watching it. I thought it was a fantastic match, and Drew Gulak did get the win over Brian Kendrick and everything. And I wouldn't mind seeing Drew Gulak taking on Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania. I don't think we're going to get that with who else is in the tournament, but we'll go over that when the time comes, who else in the tournament. But all in all, pretty good 205 Live. Up next was NXT UK. The show kicked off with Tyler Bate versus Jack Gallagher. And like the Gulak Brian Kendrick match, this was just a classic wrestling match right here between these two. The hold for counter hold and submissions and everything was just great. Tyler Bate does pick up the win in the end over Jack Gallagher. But this was a great match here on NXT UK. Second match out was Walter taking on Cassius Ohno, and this actually surprised me. I didn't think it was going to go as long as it did, and it went a little bit longer than I thought it would. Walter does pick up the win over Cassius Ohno here, but very good hard-hitting match between these two big men, and Walter still continues to impress. That running drop kick followed up with the powerbomb finish that he's got it just looks brutal, and the way Cassius Ohno sold that drop kick, it was awesome. Main event for NXT UK was the tag team titles match. The grizzled young veterans Zach Gibson and James Drake defending against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Very great tag team match here. Probably the best tag team match I've seen all week and everything. In the end, Zach Gibson and James Drake do retain the tag team titles. It was a close match. Honestly, I thought for a minute Oney and Danny was actually going to win here tonight, but they did a good job selling that and everything. But it was a very good match. If you haven't watched it, go check it out on NXT UK on the WWE Network. Then we're going to move over to NXT. The first match out of the gate was Vanessa Bourne and Aaliyah taking on Tanara Conti and Xia Li. Decent women's tag match here. Probably about in the same vein as the one from Raw with Ronda and Natalya against the Riot Squad. Nothing really too special here. In the end, Vanessa Bourne and Aaliyah do pick up the win. Then we got a surprise and everything. When they announced this match and stuff, I was like, this is not going to be a good match. But it surprised me. Dominic Dijakovic taking on Keith Lee. And these two big men, is like, they did some stuff that I haven't seen two big men do in a long time in the ring and everything. It was a very, very entertaining match. And we're going to get to see more of it because this match here ended in a double countout, so we didn't get a conclusive winner. So I'm actually glad we're going to actually see more because I want to see more of what these two guys can do. But it was a very surprising match. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was going to be. The main event for NXT was Shayna Baszler against Mia Yim. I've always been a fan of Mia Yim ever since TNA and everything. Glad to see she is in the WWE right now. And Shayna Baszler, It's like the thing about that. Think about Shayna. It's like I wish they was booking Ronda Rousey the way they're booking Shayna Baszler. Ronda ought to be the heel kind of like Shayna is and everything. And I understand Ronda is like, it's like I understand they want to keep her face and everything, but I wish they would book her the way they book Shayna. Shayna right now is probably one of the best heels in the WWE right now. Just the way she works, the way her attitude is. This was a very good match. I would like to see more of what these two can do, given more time. I think they had about 15 minutes, but I would like to see them have a little bit more time and just see what they can do. The selling was good. Everything was good about this match. In the end, Shayna does get the win via submission and everything. But all in all, very good match. If I had to pick a match of the week, it's kind of tough for me to pick a match of the week for this week. But if I had to pick one, I would probably go with NXT UK. Tyler Bate and Jack Gallagher. I really enjoyed that match. It was an old school classic wrestling match. Took you in the veins of watching wrestling back in the days, back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, and everything. It was just an awesome match. I really liked it. That would probably be my match of the week. I want to thank you all for watching. That has been my recap of the WWE for this week, and I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.